Intrinsically linked, fast-bound in misery, will the chains of defeat drag one of these clubs towards relegation? It has to be a unique Premiership occasion after the recent managerial job swap. Alan Pardew, revered by West Ham fans for taking them to the Premiership and the Cup final, sacked after takeover turmoil, now back at the club where he once played for the man who's replaced him at Upton Park, Alan Curbishley, still respected here after 15 years in charge, now managing the club where he started his playing career. A terrific reception for both. On the pitch, so many connections too. Charlton's Matt Holland started his career at West Ham. Fit again, top scorer Darren Bent was linked with a January move to the Hammers, and Alex Song's uncle Rigobert played for them. Pardew thinks Song could be the key. West Ham have 5 former Charlton players on their books, including Paul Konchesky, who spent 6 years here and plays his first game since New Year's Day. Bent is back after 7 weeks, young after 9. He nearly joined West Ham in the summer. El Karkouri returns from suspension. Thomas from a hamstring injury. 7 of that team played under Curbishley. His plans were thrown into disarray yesterday. McCartney strained a hamstring, Konchesky comes in, Boamorte fell ill, Etherington keeps his place, and Benayoun hurt his knee. He passed a test here at lunchtime. They were already missing Neil, one of 6 defenders injured. Daly plays, Rio Coker suspended, Mullins comes in, with Tevez and Cole preferred to Zamora and Harewood.
And 32 for Charlton Athletic, Ben Thatcher. On the Alex bench, number 33, Darren Randolph.
It was Eggert Magnusson, the new West Ham chairman, who took the decision to sack Alan Pardew and replace him with Alan Curbishley. Magnusson was 60 years of age this week. He's well respected in the game. Michel Platini, new president of UEFA, was amongst his birthday guests. After so much careful planning over the years, Charlton Deputy Chairman Richard Murray knows so much depends on the next 90 minutes. For the first time ever, Alan Curbishley and his backroom staff entered the away dressing room at the Valley today. They've never been in there before.
Enjoy the game.
Publicly, Alan Pardew has been defensive of West Ham's decision to sack him. Privately, I think he feels very, very despondent about that decision and will never forget it. The referee is Rob Stiles, who took charge of Charlton's last home victory against Aston Villa at the turn of the year. It's a massive game. They say Premiership football could be worth £50 million to every club next season. An early touch for Scott Carson, the Charlton goalkeeper. Charlton have lost their last 2 games. West Ham United haven't won in their last 9 Premiership matches. Here's Carlton Cole, who spent a year on loan at Charlton from Chelsea. Alex Song forward. And this is Marcus Bent. There is an early spring in the step of Charlton Athletic after spending time in Marbella on a mid-season training camp last week. Double training sessions and a lot of running. And I think their mood is the perkier going into this. Header away by Anton Ferdinand. Tevez challenged by Holland, and it breaks to Kwasi. Here's Cole, booed by the Charlton fans, who remember he decided not to sign permanently here. That's a great challenge by El Karkouri, but he's given it straight away to Kwasi. And here's Mullins. And Etherington to Tevez, who's yet to score for West Ham United. And his arrival with the other Argentinian, Mascherano, helped undermine Alan Pardew's position, several people think. And this is Marcus Bent, and this is a good link-up between him and his namesake Darren. Marcus Bent. He's been stuck on 99 career goals since mid-November. Fully appreciative of the return of Darren Bent. Marcus Bent. Quasi. Looking for Cole. It's only the second time in the league that Charlton Cole has started with Carlos Tevez. Al-Kakori swings a boot. Up to Marcus Bent. Here's Anton Ferdinand. Brought down by Alex Song. Luke Young got there, so there's no question about his fitness early on. Alan Pardew was happy with the attitude of his players in Spain in the training camp last week. They played a special match here on Monday to prove the fitness of Young and Bent. Oh, and that's a strong challenge by Konchesky on Ambrose. Now, first bad challenge of an important London derby, and Rob Stiles, the referee, pulls out a yellow card. And I really don't think Konchesky can complain. Straight through the man. One of Alan Kirbish's main problems so far, he's had a lack of time to work with his players away from the game scenario. He's had to learn about his players in games, which have come so thick and fast. Quasi. I think they should have had a free kick. Daly. Tevez. Challenge by Diawara. Charlton break here. Thomas. Marcus Bent is through the middle. Darren Bent and Darren Ambrose joining in. That's deflected off Davenport. It comes to Ambrose. He took the touch. This is dangerous. And it's squirted away for a corner. It's the first corner of the game. Charlton are the busier and brighter side so far. Ambrose will take it. Long towards the far post, Marcus Bent. Couldn't get over the ball and headed wide. Both managers know each other so well, they are firm friends. Alan Kirbishley actually signed Alan Pardew as a player here back in 1991. He said it was the hardest signing of his life. He had to haggle in a pub all afternoon. The Cross Keys pub it was, over an extra £15 a week in wages. Alan Pardew was once top scorer for Charlton in the season with 9. Martin Carl won it. Tevez was just playing off him. It's Marcus Bent to Darren Ambrose, who's showing up well early on. A crunching challenge on him by Quasi. Rob Stiles had a very clear view of it. And it's the third time Darren Ambrose has been the victim of a hefty West Ham challenge early on. Crumpled in pain. His right foot went over the ball. Well, Darren Ambrose has been hit very hard in the opening quarter of an hour. Dennis Romadal warming up, and behind him the Chinese national captain Zheng Ji. Here's Song. To Thomas. Looking for Song again. It's a good run by the teenager. He's still in there despite Tevez going to ground, and it's a corner. The Argentinian international isn't happy with the decision. Bustling run by the player on loan from Arsenal. It's Charlton's second corner of the game. Darren Ambrose will take it. Marcus Bent is in at the near post. Rob Green was blocked off by his own player, was he? The referee thought it was Jerome Thomas. The goalkeeper couldn't get there for the cross. Thomas stood his ground and was the clear offender. Mullins was standing there with Thomas, but it was a foul. This is Mullins, restored to the side today with Rio Coker suspended for a couple of games. Marcy. West Ham are beginning to put their game together. Tevez to Charlton Cole. Deflected away by Diawara to Konchesky. West Ham's best moment so far. He hasn't scored since the cup final. Brought it down well, cushioned chest trap. Wayward with the slashed low cross. If he had scored, West Ham would have felt very confident. He hasn't netted and lost a league game since day one of 2003-04. Mullins. Won by Holland. Ambrose to Young. Song. Ambrose has skipped beyond Konchesky. Thomas. Marcus Spence onside. That's a good pullback. Ambrose! And that's a deserved and very well worked goal. 23 minutes gone. How precious will that strike prove for Alan Pardew's team? Neatly finished, superbly created. It's Charlton Athletic's first league goal in 281 minutes. Onside, the flag stayed down, a very intelligent pullback, the left-footed finish. West Ham, no doubt, will query the decision. It's his first goal of 2007. Charlton get the all-important breakthrough. For the 22nd time this season, West Ham have conceded the opening goal. This is Benayoun. Kwasi. Konchesky. This is Mullins. It's a free kick to West Ham. Challenges are snapping in. That was Jerome Thomas. Charlton Athletic 1-0 up as they search their 900th post-war win. Davenport forward. It's wide to Etherington though. Luke Young got in there, and reaction from Etherington, who's had a most unhappy campaign. And Rob Styles, with a difficult job on his hands, stepping in to calm things down. Nerves are raw. It was petty. Towards goal. Taken off his toes by the goal scorer Ambrose. Marcus Bent really did a very good job. But Davenport finds Charlton Cole. One back by Alex Song. His manager thought he was going to be important. He has been, but this is Etherington. Karpori went to ground. They are timing their tackles very well, the Charlton back four. Anton Ferdinand. This is Mullins. Konchesky. Tevez. Scrubby clearance by Diawara. But Thomas can run it out here for Charlton. Daly slipped Quasi. Now Etherington slipping away from Holland. Luke Young came across and covered. Etherington has it again. Etherington, who was briefly a teammate of Luke Young's at Tottenham, misplacing the chip in. Thatcher. Thomas. That's it back. Did well. Gets the return from Darren Bent. And that's Alex Song. That's a fine pass. Ambrose with the cross. Ferdinand with the half-volley clearance. He knows that West Ham are a bit flat at the moment. They haven't won since Alan Kirbishley's first game in charge back on December the 17th against Manchester United. Darren Ambrose. Luke Young. Ambrose. Davenport Teller. Davenport, one of Alan Kirbishley's January signings. He also, of course, signed Lucas Neal and Matthew Upson to bolster the defence, both injured. Passed off Quasi. Konchesky clears to Tevez. Well, he's left Alex Song with twisted blood. And he has players in support. Still Tevez. And in the end, he was surrounded by too many red shirts and he held on to it too long. And now Charlton can break with Jerome Thomas. It's tempestuous stuff. Wide to Darren Bent. Flashed across the face of goal, but Charlton had a better option in Darren Ambrose on the right and didn't use him. Look at Ambrose, top of your picture. Acres of space, but they went left and the opportunity was spurned. Didn't look across. If they'd scored there, West Ham would have been bent double in their efforts to stay away from trouble. This is Thomas. Thatcher. Oh, a difficult ball for Anton Ferdinand to deal with. And it was a really good clearance. This is Quasi. Looking for Carlton Cole. Couldn't keep possession West Ham's way. The man who played 22 games and scored 5 goals for Charlton, Carlton Cole. Alex Song. Ambrose to Darren Bent. Matt Holland making a fine run. Again, an important block by Anton Ferdinand. This is Benayoun. Quasi. Good touch back to him. That's intricate by West Ham. This is Tevez. Plenty of hustle and bustle. Awareness of teammates. Well, he finds one now. Quasi. Konchesky. Fine pass into the feet of Carlton Cole. That was better from West Ham. Konchesky was actually making a forward surge. Etherington was looking for him. Cole opens things up. Daly. Mullins. Konchesky. West Ham have started to play the ball. What about a final product? And it comes to Cole. Glanced away by Dear Warren. That's good covering by Thomas. Oh, that was a back pass, wasn't it? Was it a back pass or simply a deflection of Thomas back to the goalkeeper? Quasi. Konchesky. Marcus Bent has pulled up, has he, for Charlton? As he went to challenge, Marcus Bent pulled up and he's in discomfort. Konchesky. It's a throw-in to Charlton, who have a problem with Marcus Bent, the man who created the goal. But he's barely moving, Marcus Bent, and Charlton are going to have to make a change. Marcus Bent's year at the Valley has been punctuated by injuries, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank will be the man who comes on for him. Young, offside against Darren Bent. Come on. Up goes El-Karkouri. There's Kwasi. And Yoon. Thatcher touches it to Thomas. And Charlton again, quick on the break. He has Darren Bent in support, head down, he's gone for it and scored! And West Ham United stood off and let him come and finish. Alan Pardew, 2-0 up against the club that decided to dispense with his services before Christmas. How sweet this will feel for him. Thomas has looked bright so far, and Davenport didn't get close enough to get the tackle in. How far did he come? Backing off inside his own penalty area, Davenport. Never looked like getting there. Crisp finish. His first of the season. Bent too strong in the challenge on Davenport. Well, Charlton Athletic have waited 2 months to be able to play the Bents together. And the combination lasted just 34 minutes. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank on for Marcus Bent. Marcus Bent has already disappeared to the treatment room. Song from the Charlton fans, we are staying up, and it will be difficult for Alan Kirbishley to take. Here's Tevez. Kwasi. Oh, good effort. Carson saves. Tevez. West Ham's best moment so far. Flinging himself to the right, Scott Carson. Good stop by the England under-21 goalkeeper. Davenport. Here's Daly. Mullins. To Tevez, who was fouled by El-Karkouri, surely. Yellow card for El-Karkouri. He's just back from suspension. Could really do with a goal before half-time. Evington's come from an offside position. Nothing has gone right for West Ham today or over the last few weeks. Refereeing decisions have gone against them, and they feel very strongly that this was offside. As the ball is played, is Marcus Bent offside? Oh, very close. I think he's being played on by the man in the middle, is he? Well, West Ham will clearly say that was offside. He's had no luck with refereeing decisions of late. I know that Alan Pardew privately still feels very unhappy at the way West Ham treated him, but I know how anguished he will be if West Ham go down this season, despite what you may have heard or read elsewhere. Benayoun. Konchesky. 5 minutes to go. So, he was lucky, but where he's played, he deserves a little bit of fortune. Floyd Hasselbank strong in the challenge, and Darren Bent's onside. This could be 3-0 before half-time. It is! Charlton Athletic here have a lifeline for survival, and West Ham United on this form will go down. Despair for Alan Kirbishley of West Ham at his former club. Strength in the challenge from Hasselbank. Bent beyond a flagging back four. The pass alongside Anton Ferdinand. No cover. 3-0. Charlton have looked sharper and hungrier and more cohesive throughout. That's a yellow card for Song, I think. Alex Song stretching, having lost the ball with a poor first touch. Two and a half minutes before half-time. Carlos Tevez hasn't scored yet for West Ham in 6 months. There'd be some irony here if he could score against his former manager. A wearied look, a hangdog expression. It's been a horrible first half for West Ham. Got it up over the wall, but couldn't get it down again. West Ham United have had such a problem scoring goals this season. Disgruntled the travelling support. Here's Carlton Cole, Tevez. Daly. Quasi. Tevez, good movement. Oh, he stepped on the ball. Well, doesn't that just sum up what's happening to West Ham at the moment? Here's Davenport. Here's Mullins. Lack of confidence, lack of understanding. Well, I know how much West Ham United would have loved to have signed Darren Bent in the January window. But because of the club's predicament, Alan Kirbishley could not get the players he wanted in. He has had to face up to many problems, and I don't think he realised when he took the job just a mountain he had to climb. Konchesky. On by Daly, there's Holland, and now Hasselbank. Ambrose is wide. He's the man who started that devastating 3-goal in 18-minute burst. Alex Song, Ben Thatcher. Charlton have found space. West Ham have been chasing shadows, and Ambrose is offside. Some meat on that volley. The decision there made by Mike Cairns, but West Ham United will fume that Ambrose's first goal should have been struck off because of an offside position. Anton Ferdinand. El Kakori. Daly. Mistake by Diawara, but El Kakori was behind him and finds Luke Young. The half-time whistle. It's been a terrific half for Alan Pardew against his old club, and misery for Alan Kerbishley in his return to the Valley. Darren Bent, coveted by West Ham in the January transfer window, making it 3-0 after Ambrose had set the ball rolling after 24 minutes. And Jerome Thomas added a second 10 minutes later. A handsome half-time scoreline of Charlton Athletic 3, West Ham United 0. The West Ham fans have been singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt." They are in utter despair. West Ham need a miracle. They need to do something fast. Marlon Harewood has come on for Matthew Etherington. Presumably in the second half they'll play 3 up top, 3 men in attack. Charlton kick off the second half. Only they can throw it away from here. Alan Kerbishley actually bought tickets for this match a long time ago to come here as a West Ham fan. He probably wishes he was anywhere else right now. Thomas. Thatcher. By Daly. Benayoun. First touch for Harewood, who's only scored 1 away goal in 11 months. West Ham's failure to get enough goals this season is just one of their problems. They've conceded too many, and it has been an unhappy ship for far too long. Alan Pardew has changed the whole mindset of Charlton Athletic in recent weeks. Their form has been boosted. West Ham United is still waiting for that lift-off. It may never come. Konchesky. Anton Ferdinand. Well, he couldn't beat 2 Charlton players. Konchesky went to ground. Ambrose. Looking for Darren Bent, and there's problems in that West Ham defence. Rob Green has to shuttle it away. Here's Darren Bent, Davenport behind him. Breaks for Benayoun, now Hayden Mullins. Now Tevez. Run by Tevez. Cole. Towards Mullins, away by Thatcher. Davenport, who's had an unhappy afternoon. Now chance for Chuck. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank finds Darren Bent. Again, Davenport backing away. Hasselbank with Anton Ferdinand in front of him. He went for the Bent effort. It was lovely. It came off the woodwork. A trademark Hasselbank shot. You could see it coming a mile out. Tevez. You can't fault his work ethic, Carlos Tevez. Konchesky. Ooh, sliced by Diawara. Mullins to Quasi. Similar players. Just wonder whether West Ham United need more creativity in there. Again, I know that Alan Kerbishley was working hard to bring in a midfield playmaker in January, but he couldn't get him. Daly. Benayoun. Knocked by Hasselbank. That was foul. And it's a yellow card for Diawara. Diawara deserves the yellow for that, and faces suspension. Rob Styles is ensured throughout the game. The wall is back the required distance, and there's no pushing and shoving or handbags. Tevez, smart save. Tevez yet again denied. Not the first time he's threatened this season from a set piece. Larson stepping across, smart stop. In comes that corner, and away by Diawara. Anton Ferdinand forward for West Ham for this. Goal now would give them hope. Tevez in. Lost away off Diawara. Here's Kwasi. West Ham kicking towards their own fans in the Jimmy Seed stand. Benayoun! And Davenport was there! Carson again well placed. And Charlton have a problem. Suleiman Diawara's gone down. How many times over the years have we seen Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink shape to shoot like this? Started way out, bent back in, goalkeeper beaten. It would have been 4-0 to Charlton, and West Ham United have only scored 4 away goals all campaign. Oh, it was delicious. Hard luck. West Ham about to make a change. Carlton Cole, back at the club where he spent a season on loan off, and the man who comes on is Kepa Blanco, the 23-year-old, signed on loan from Seville. Scored on his debut for West Ham, played one goal. Target man, Blanco to Benayoun, straight at Carson. But at least West Ham are creating second half chances. Blanco having an immediate effect. Hasselbaink. This is Thomas. Flashing cross. Green was groping. His delivery from the left has been dangerous. Charlton have had the more creative players. Davenport. Here's Daly. Benayoun. She's snapping behind him. He certainly won that clash today. This is Hasselbaink. He's going to have another go. Rolling in, as he's always loved to do from a wide position, but off target, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink. 236 career goals, a prolific goal scorer. This is Ambrose. Kwasi. Tevez. Benayoun, Harewood, deflected, but Carson got there again. And Harewood is angry with Ben Thatcher. Both went to ground together, and the referee very quickly in. And he's handled the game well, Rob Styles, I think. He's always been on top of things. Tevez with the corner, curling away, looking for Daly. An important header away by Darren Bent. Kunchesky. Daly has stayed for Davenport's header. Diawara was a bit hesitant. But he's still feeling the effects of the knock to the head, I'm not too sure. Luckily for West Ham, Mullins was covering back there on Thomas. Daly had stayed forward from the corner. West Ham United do have key home matches to come, and Upton Park is a very special place in the run into the end of the season, but they're also going to need away victories to stay up. And on this sort of form they won't get them, but it's been a better second half for them, certainly. And this is Mullins, Ferdinand, Davenport. Sneaked its way through to Kwasi. He looks for Harewood, out comes Carson, great goalkeeping. He's had a very strong game. Alert, quick across the ground and brave. Cannot be far away from a senior England call-up. This is Daly. Hasselbank. Song was through Kwasi. Holland to Thatcher. It's a free kick to the home side. England's goalkeeping coach Ray Clements watching on, and he will be impressed with what he's seen from young Scott Carson. The Charlton fans are singing Super Al, Super Alan Pardew, where only months ago they were singing Super Al, Super Alan Kerbishley. In comes the Thomas free kick, Konchesky's head. Harewood. Tevez. Back to Harewood. Such an important game this, both managers knew that. Just to put it into context, in the history of the Premiership, 35 matches have been played between teams in the bottom three in the relegation run-in. Only 5 sides have lost those games and managed to stay up. Defeat for West Ham United, he knows, will leave them facing an Everest to stay in. .25 minutes to go. Now back it comes to Holland. Oh, he's poked one. Well, he doesn't get many. Matthew Holland, his last came last January at Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup. He's been an ever-present under Alan Pardew, and he wasn't far off target. Richard Murray, deputy chairman of Charlton, who will think now definitely he's got the right man in Alan Pardew, and Charlton's season is on the right track. I'm not too sure if his team is on the right track. Not a happy man. Jerome Thomas. He's offered Charlton width. West Ham haven't had any great width, and it nearly comes to Darren Ambrose. Diawara. Daly. Well done, Diawara, good recovery. Now this is Song. Blocked by Daly, no handball. I'll give it in the end. Assistant referee gave it. West Ham to make their third and final substitution. Aidan Mullins, central midfield player, going off. Sean Newton, a wider midfield player, coming on. He played nearly 300 games for Charlton in his 8 years at the club and gets a sympathetic appreciation from the home fans. He helped Charlton back into the top flight and maintains a great tradition of links between these two clubs. Malcolm Allison, Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, Rob Lee, Derek Hales, Leroy Rosina. The West Ham Charlton connections have been strong, and Charlton have been strong today. It's a corner kick to Charlton, off Konchesky. West Ham had a good spell at the start of the second half, but didn't make it count. And now Charlton are back on top and come looking for a fourth goal with a corner from Ambrose. Headed away by Ferdinand. Tevez. Such a strong man. Konchesky. Up to Marlon Harewood. Luke Young was there. Even if Harewood won it, who was there to support him for the knockdown? Young. Konchesky looks for Tevez. Hasselback won it back. Song. Holland. It's a free kick to Charlton. Corey will take the free kick with 17 minutes to go. Aaron Bent moves on the edge of the penalty area to slip his marker. And rises, but was beaten by Daly. Holland, offside. Capablanco. Tevez. Back to Tevez. Bustling. Luke Young with the clearance. Still running, Carlos Tevez. One back by Thomas. Fervent, loyal support from the West Ham fans. Oh, in the first half their song was "You're not fit to wear the shirt." Ben. Thomas. Holland. Charlton are finding their rhythm again. Alex Song has had a pivotal role to play. Luke Young arriving. Jimmy Floyd Hasselback. Good move in progress. Quarter of an hour to go. It's a corner kick to Charlton. Diawara has moved forward from the back. Quarter of an hour to go. Lanced by Hasselbank, drops to Thomas. Oh, this is El Kokori. Not one West Ham defender there wanted to take the responsibility to get it away. Lacking in confidence, lacking in authority, and lacking in points. Ambrose. Another corner kick. Taken by Thomas. El Kokori was hearing ghosts. It's 50 years since Charlton fans suffered a home defeat by West Ham United. I don't think it's going to happen today. Give Charlton their biggest victory in this fixture. Antoine Ferdinand levers it away. West Ham fans were worried that if relegation does come, how many players will leave in the summer? They do have big money behind them now with the new owners. And there is still a long way to go. But this could well be a decisive Saturday defeat. Ben Thatcher. Hasselbank. Ambrose. Luke Young. Industry from Tevez. Young's throw. Glanced away by Ferdinand. Now Harewood. Newton had to get across there very quickly. Now Harewood. Daly. Charlton have been so quick to press. Benayoun. El-Kakori in front of him. Played into Blanco. Harewood. Kwasi. Look at Darren Bent working. West Ham United find a route to Tevez. Full of industry, full of commitment, but he was brought to score goals. Away by Luke Young. Out by Alex Song. Hasselbank. Thomas finds Hasselbank. There's Song. Risky pass back to him, but Holland was on hand. Charlton have worked in tight groups, quick to cover for each other. West Ham United's team cohesion has lacked in comparison. Konchesky. Harewood flex away off Diawara. Blanco keeps it in and forces the corner off Thatcher. West Ham can score here, it will set up an interesting last 10 minutes or so. Daly, Ferdinand, Kepa, Benayoun all in there. Davenport's come forward as well to add height. He's underneath it. Again the header straight at Castle. Charlton were a little bit sloppy in picking him up. The home side can now break. Ambrose. To run at Konchesky. In towards Thomas. Oh, that is a beautiful goal. West Ham United had 5 defenders in their own penalty area and failed to stop it. 4-0 to Alan Pardew's Charlton. The burst of pace took Thomas in there. Bent fed Ambrose and then makes a gesture to Ambrose. Points, in it comes. West Ham ball watching. Thomas gets his second. Charlton heading for their biggest home win against West Ham United. When the season ends, people may well look back to this Saturday as the day when Charlton Athletic sparked the Great Escape and the day when West Ham United heard the death knell sound for their Premiership existence. This is Blanco. The look says it all. And those West Ham United fans have lost faith in today and possibly for the season. A standing ovation for the Charlton captain Darren Bent, returning for the first time in 2 months. And replaced by the Chinese captain Zheng Ji. Charlton's previous biggest home win in this fixture was in March 1988, 3-0. Not lost in 12 home league games against West Ham going back to October 1957. Thomas. What a smashing goal it was from him. Thatcher. Newton gets a touch for West Ham. Painful day this will be for him, and Kwasi's back pass all the way to the goalkeeper. Flicked on by Blanco. Ambrose. Thomas is on a hat-trick. This is Alex Song. In the build-up to the game, Alan Pardew told me of his high hopes for Alex Song in this game. He thought he could be a key player for Charlton today at just 19. He has proved that. He has a big future, that's for sure. And he goes off to a standing ovation. Andy Fay replaces him. It's a happy bench and a happy place to be today. Jimmy Floyd-Hasselbaink. Turning. It wasn't the finish of a prolific goal scorer. Nimble turn from an old un against a young un, but the finish lacked quality. Goes Thatcher. Daly. Kwasi and Davenport. Sean Newton. Free kick to West Ham. Tevez. Good understanding with Benayoun. Into Harewood, and we had to turn, and Thatcher got back at him, and Harewood was already falling. He was already falling to the ground when Thatcher got the last touch on him. I don't think it was a foul. Lost his footing there. I don't think it was a penalty. There's Jimmy Floyd-Hasselbaink. Ambrose switches play for Thomas. An intelligent pass. Both Charlton wide men have performed well. And Thomas settles for the throw. We're into the last minute of stoppage time. Thomas. Thatcher. We're right in there, look, to see if anything untoward happens. Situations like that always going to present problems. I don't know how many of you find that sort of tactic frustrating. You won't mind though. There will be public diplomacy from Alan Pardew and private satisfaction at the victory, but also, I can tell you, grief if West Ham are to go down in that. Thomas. Zhengzhi off the bar. Holland back in there. Hasselbank. And Daly to the goalkeeper. A huge day. You can sense the satisfaction. He will take no delight in seeing West Ham United relegated if they go down. Old friends together. Alan Curbishley knows that he faces the most difficult job of his career to keep them up. Alan Pardew will be unhappy for the West Ham fans, I know, but he will be so delighted that his Charlton side, inspired by the returning Darren Bent, have won a most crucial afternoon. Charlton Athletic are not out of trouble, far from it, but Alan Pardew has hope. Is there a way back for West Ham from this? Charlton 4, West Ham United 0.
Alan, you must be delighted with that win.
It was an important win for us. You know, we have showed signs of a recovery, but you need to put points on the board, and that's what we did today with a really good performance.
Because of the manner of your first half performance, were you able to almost relax and enjoy the second half?
No, I couldn't relax, and I was never going to enjoy today. There's some people on I love on the other side, so it was never going to be a day for that. It was just about winning, and we did that.
How important was it that you had Luke Young and Darren Bent back today?
Very important, you know, Luke Young's leadership and the solid performance from him, and Darren Bent, of course, would just enhance everyone's belief that we was going to win. So that couldn't have done us any harm. I didn't think he was great today, in all honesty, but his finish was top draw, and he needed that game.
And Jerome Thomas, his goal scoring hasn't been the best over the years, but 2 for him today.
Well, we've worked a lot hard on Jerome, and he's a strange boy. He has awesome talent. And he produced today, and he set himself a target of the performance that we expect from him. So now he has to produce that every week.
And some home debut by Alex Song?
Well, Alex Song is a major acquisition for us. I'm very pleased that Arsene Wenger let him come across to us. He has fantastic ability. Sometimes, you look at a young 19-year-old and wonder if you can give him the responsibility that I have here, and will he be able to take it? And he's just grasped it with both hands. I actually thought he was better at Man United than a lot of Man United players, so he's got a good future ahead of him.
We knew we had to win the game. A draw wasn't good enough. We discussed it beforehand. A draw would have been seen as a loss, really. And I think it was built up a lot with obviously Alan Curbishley coming back to the Valley, Mervyn Day, Keith Peacock, and then Alan Pardew being here, being at West Ham and all. So, it was a massive win.
Did you have to blank out all that pre-match hype to focus on your job?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone hears it and you read the newspapers, but once the game kicks off, you've only got one thing in your mind, and that's to win the game. And the way we kicked off, I think the way we started the game set the pace, and it just went on from there.
The 2 goals you scored, they may not have been the best goals you've ever scored, but surely they'll be the most important.
Well, that's yet to see, but hopefully they will be, yeah. Hopefully they're 2 goals that will spark off us staying up in the Premiership.
You always seem to save your goals for London derbies. I mean, is it something that you feel you could add to your game, more goals?
Definitely. I need to add more goals to my game, and the new gaffer's been working with me on that, and the defensive part of my game, of course. And it's just about getting the ball in the attacking areas. If I get in the right areas, I can cause problems. Like I said, the win's so much bigger than my 2 goals.
I don't recommend to anybody, I know Alan's come into here, but I don't recommend it to anybody going into a team mid-season and going into it straight away. I think I looked at the Charlton side today, and there was a lot of the old boys, if you like, and who have been through some scrapes and battles, and I think that may have been a deciding factor here today.
Us and West Ham have been scrapping for points all season. Obviously they've been struggling, we're struggling, so to beat them so convincingly today was brilliant.
Was it as comfortable as the scoreline looks?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, West Ham always pose threats. I mean, they've got some fantastic players, and we know we have to be on our guard today, but I think on today's performance it was about taking chances, and we managed to do that.
And how important was it for you to score on your comeback?
It was just nice for the team to win. I mean, other than me scoring, I mean, I'd have taken 1-0 and it'd be an own goal, and we got the 3 points because that was the main thing.
How much of an honour was it for you to get the captain's armband today?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, obviously with Youngie coming back, I expected him to get it, but the gaffer wanted to stick with me. And it was brilliant to wear it again. But as I said, the main thing was we got the points today.
Has it been a bit of a nightmare for you, this period of injury, just at a time when it seemed your form was turning round?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as you said, we played against Fulham, and obviously we got the point, even though we maybe should have won. And then obviously we beat Villa, and then I get injured, which was really frustrating. I mean, we seemed like we was on the move, on the way up, and obviously it was a setback. But then, as I said today, and while I've been injured, the lads are putting some fantastic performances, and hopefully that today showed it.
It was a phenomenal atmosphere here today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the fans, even from all week, the fans have been talking about it, we've been talking about it, and it seemed there was a buzz around the place, and that's what we need. If we're going to stay up, we need the fans to get behind us and just give us 100% of support.
Matty Holland said, when he come in the dressing room, that's the standard, and of course he's a senior pro, he knows, and that is the standard. So now my staff and the players know the standard we set. We've got to try and deliver that as often as we can, week by week, until the end, and see where we are.